Hello and welcome to Mastering Microsoft Excel video series. This is video number 48. In this video, we are going to understand how do we use ISERROR with VLOOKUP. What is the value addition we get compared to using if error in VLOOKUP. Without much ado, let's go ahead and check out in the video what does this ISERROR formula can do for us. All right, I'm using the same example file which we have used for demonstrating the smart use of if error. We understood that the if error can be used to handle approach like search in this table, if not search in another table. Now to quickly give you the context here, I have three sheets here. The first sheet contains the prices of these part numbers. They are revised prices. I have converted this data into a table format and I have given the name for this table as revised. If you could check out here, you can see it here. The name for the data set has been named as revised. Similarly, I have another set of data which is also containing the prices of these part numbers, and I've converted them into a table and I've given the name for them as well. And the name for this table which contains the older prices has been named as older. Now let's get to the report where you're going to write the formula. So the objective here is I have to search this part number in the revised price list. If I don't get that part number in the revised price list, then I take the data from the older price list. So that's what's the requirement, and that's what we did in the earlier video. Let me quickly finish that formula here so that we will try to get the context here why and when we need the is error instead of if error. So let's go ahead and write the formula. So I'm going to say if error, and I'm going to start looking VLOOKUP, search for this and search for this in the revised price list, comma second column false. If you do not get it, search the same part number in the older price list, take the second column from there and finish the job. So what it basically does here is it goes to the revised price and searches for this part number and pulls the price of the part number from the second column. If it will not find that part number in the revised, so it's going to give you error, the hash and error. So if error, will see what has been given after the formula part. So after the comma, generally what we do is we will have a replacement like 0 or not available, something like that. But I made it to search for another table which is older. So the logic of searching here is search the revised. If you do not find it, take it from the older. Now if I double click, I get the answers. That's not a problem. But how do I know from which table each of these values have been picked up? Is it an older price? Is it a revised price? I do not have an idea. Literally, I have to go and check in each table for each part number to understand whether it has been picked up from the revised price or the older price. Or I have to create two different columns, write one formula for the revised in one column and another column write the formula for the older. And that's the way we can find out where the data is coming from. Now that is where I want to use the ISERROR to know exactly the source of the value, from which table the VLOOKUP has pulled it up, so that it is easy for me in certain business context to tell them whether I've really considered the revised price or I have considered the older price. So let me show you how basically the ISERROR formula works. Watch it. So when I'm going to write a normal VLOOKUP, searching this in the revised price list and we're pulling the second column, we're closing the braces. Now I got an error. So when I double click here, for certain things I get value, for certain things I don't get value. I get error because these are not available in the revised price. So now if I introduce ISERROR instead of if error, now ISERROR is a logical function which returns a Boolean value as an output. Means true or false will come as an output. When I hit enter, I got true because it gave me error. So ISERROR was checking whether VLOOKUP is giving error. Yes, so it gave you true. So when I double click, so all I could see here is true and false. True is the places where we got the error because that part number is not there in the revised. and it was not able to give you answer. It gave you error, so ISERROR gave you true. So how do I change this true and false to the desired outcome? Wherever we see true, we need to understand the value has been picked up from the older price. Wherever we see false, the value has been picked up from the revised. So I'm going to go ahead and use the if formula in order to change the true and false to the desired output. So I go and put the if formula over and above my ISERROR. I go to the end of my ISERROR formula. After the bracket, I put a comma. It's asking me value of true. So ISERROR becomes true when the VLOOKUP gives an error. The VLOOKUP gives an error if it's not able to find it in the revised. So that means it should have definitely considered from the older, comma, if ISERROR gives me false, it has found it in the revised. So I'm going to say it is revised. So I close the bracket from my if formula. So when I hit enter, this is telling me that where the value has traveled from. So the 8,472 for the first part number, the value what we got has been literally pulled up from the older price list. And whereas 11,136 for this part number has been picked up from the revised price list. So by this way, I can find out even if I am taking the data from different files also, instead of older and revised, you might have your own words which will help you to understand where the value traveled from. This can be expanded even for 3-4 tables when you're searching. The only thing is the ISERROR will keep coming in, and if formula will also be nesting inside. You can achieve it. Just check out how these guys combination gives you a value addition here. Now I will know where the value traveled from. All right, so with which we have come to the end of the video. We understood ISERROR with the VLOOKUP, with the if formula. When you use it, it will help you to get the source of the value, where it has traveled from. Again, with another interesting input like this, we will meet you soon. Until then, take care of yourself. Signing off, Hariharan.